Welcome back to the Rushmore Conzi Show, presented by the Sporting Tribune on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio in Southern California, 98.5 The Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760 in Hawaii. Just as a reminder, if you have a question or comment or want to win tickets to an upcoming game in Southern California, Las Vegas, or Hawaii, call our hotline 310-400-0340, or let's go out to the Circus Sports Guest Hotline right now. And joining us, a guy that I've been waiting to talk to for quite some time, the Dunk King, the GOAT when it comes to dunking, Mac McClung. Mac, how are you?
Hey, guys, I'm good. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm so excited to chat with you. And I say this not because you guys have a partnership, but there were two takeaways from Salt Lake City. Amazing All-Star Weekend. Starry, which I did not know the drink prior to the All-Star Weekend. There was a box waiting for me when I got to my hotel room. I consumed the entire box. Now I'm totally addicted to Starry and your dunk performance. That was the highlight. Now, again, we had followed you for quite some time. Our studios in Los Angeles are walking distance from where the South Bay Lakers play. And my dream was for you to win the slam dunk contest as a member of the Lakers. But, brother, I'm so glad that you won it. What was that weekend like for you?
Man, it was great. I was there with my family, and it was a lot. I can't lie. It was a ton of things going on, but it was very special. And my days kind of got flipped around after the dunk contest, but it was a beautiful moment with me and my family and friends.
Yeah. The one thing that I do want to mention, again, the only thing that I'm very afraid of in life is a roller coaster. So this amazing contest that you're a part of, I will be like observing from afar, but 10 lucky contestants will be riding alongside you, Mac, July 29th. And we'll give the link as we go along and we'll tweet it out. What has this experience been like for you post slam dunk contest? Was there someone that you talked to? Again, you were the talk of that weekend. Was there someone who reached out to you post slam dunk contest?
Yeah, there was a lot. I couldn't even keep up with it, to be honest with you, with text messages and Instagram DMs and a lot of celebrities and stuff that people look up to, and it was just a lot where I was just like, I'm gonna be with my friends, my family, and I'll worry about all that later. And then I never really caught up to it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and Mac, Brandon here. I'm a co-host on the show. I wanted to ask you about 2022 because Arash brought up the Lakers. We obviously saw you dominate with the South Bay Lakers. Come up for that last game of the season in 22 where Austin Reeves had the triple-double. You had the double pump fake reverse dunk. Talk to me about that moment and how special it was in 22 to end on that high note and have that momentum going into 23 where you obviously had a great year in the G League, two-way player and obviously the slam dunk champion.
Yeah, it was great. It was my first year coming out to the professional level, and we stayed with South Bay Lakers, and it was good. We had a really good team. Personally, I loved that year, and it was a great place to be. And then that last game, they let me come up and play, and it was just kind of getting my feet wet, kind of figuring out what everything was because it's a different speed and a different game, and it was fun. Austin was amazing that game, and shout out to Austin on his recent contract, man. I'm so happy for him. He's a great person, a great player. So yeah, that was an incredible moment.
Mac, I have to ask you because, of course, this contest is going to culminate Hershey Park, the new roller coaster, Wildcat's Revenge, and for me, someone who's, I guess I'm going to say it, gravity. Like we don't get along. You know what I'm saying? I stay on the surface. So the feeling of getting to dunk and doing some of the things that you've done, I'll never get a taste of that. The roller coaster is the closest I'm going to get. So I want to know, when was your first dunk and how did you feel? Because sometimes I talk to dudes and they're like, yo, it was kind of weak. I had to use two hands. I barely got the ball over the rim. Like, talk me back through your first dunk.
Yeah, so, I was super short. Like, I was like a freshman in high school. I was still like 5'7", and I loved dunking. I was obsessed with it. Like, that's all I cared about. Like, my first 7 through freshman, sophomore year, like dunking was it for me. So I was dunking on an 8-foot goal, and then I just kept getting a little higher and higher. And eventually, I think it was my freshman year, I just had a one-handed dunk after practice one day after trying a trillion times. And it was like, everybody was like, good job, but it was like the best day of my life. I thought it was the coolest thing. So super exciting, one-handed, 1 foot, and it was just a happy day for me. I videotaped it. I can't find the video, but I remember just telling everybody that would listen.
That's amazing. One-handed dunk for the first one's incredible.
Now, Mac, when how much practice went into the dunks? Because the one thing about the dunk contest is you don't want to, give out too much at the beginning. You want to advance. You want to get to the final. How did you plan how you were going to do the dunks?
Well, it's funny. It kind of switched a lot. I practiced really hard on about 5 or 6 dunks about 2 months before I found out I was going to be in it. And, it was funny. I would send them to everybody I knew, like, hey, is this dunk good enough? Have you ever seen this dunk before? And I just really went to a lot of research. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start out with one of my best dunks and just kind of try to get the crowd behind me.
Max, talk about this event. Again, the coolest thing is that you've done such a great job connecting with the fans. Beginning right now, and it started this month, Starry is launching a sweepstakes for 10 lucky winners to be randomly selected to win a ride on Wildcat's Revenge alongside you July 29th. What's that going to be like to kind of connect with your fans? 10 that will be selected, and you guys are going to have an amazing time.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I'm super excited and super nervous all at once. But the 10 winners, July 29th. I can't wait. Excuse me. And then you can keep signing up until July 21st to be one of the 10 winners. And you also win a $100 gift card, which none of us would have a problem with that. And I'm super excited and nervous at the same time and partnering with Starry. And it's funny, when I was in 7th grade, I had an AU tournament at Hershey Park. So it's all coming full circle. I'm excited to meet everybody and be there.
Nice. Mac, I wanted to ask you about, Adam Silver has said, NBA commissioner, has said in the past that the league will eventually expand, right? A lot of people thought it would be a few years back, but it looks like it's going to be eventually. We don't know for sure, but speculation is Vegas and Seattle. I've always been adamant about saying how much talent is in the G League. You average 19 points per game. There's so many guys, I feel like you, that can play in the NBA, get serious minutes and contribute to winning. I think it should have expanded, but there was the question Silver was asked, is there enough talent? And he said, I don't know if there's enough talent. And I just think there is so much talent. Tell me about how good these players are in the G League and how different it is playing in the NBA versus the G League.
Yeah, appreciate you asking that question. There is a lot of great players. Even on my Delaware Bluecoats team, guys like Braxton Key, Patrick McCall, who has 3 or 4 NBA championships. Sorry, 1 second. And these guys could be role players or starters on some of these NBA teams. It's just the truth. I've been there. I've played against these guys in training camps, and it's just like a lot of it's opportunity and patience. And I don't feel like I'm ever in a spot where I'm not supposed to be. I feel like I'm super present most of the time. So just being in that present moment. But these guys do deserve to be in the NBA, and there's a lot of talent. Each team has a lot of talent.
Hey, I want to ask you, because you brought it up, there's a lot of patience and there's a lot involved in grinding for your dream, right? Whether it's me in the radio, you with basketball, and just anyone who's listening to this. I guess my question would be, when is your patience tested the most, or what have you learned the most through this journey?
Yeah, I think the way I look at patience is that the universe, I don't think it tests people that it's not going to use. I feel like every time you get tested, you kind of get refined. You get a little better. You make a little less mistakes every time. And I know so many opportunities, like, man, I made the most out of this opportunity. Why didn't it work out? And then the next, I'm like, oh, I made the most out of this one. But each of those opportunities, I'm getting better. For when I actually do get that opportunity, I'm going to make the absolute most of it, because I'm going to be so refined that it's like, man, this is undeniable. And that's what I'm hoping. And that's the way I look at it, and try to make it a positive outlook. But I really don't think the universe tests people that it's not going to use. So hopefully my story can be something people look back on and use for inspiration. Like I look at Gary Payton and these guys. So it's like, just kind of trusting the universe and knowing I'm at where I'm supposed to be.
Mac, one guy who was very supportive, I think he may have called it the best dunk performance, or one of, was LeBron James. You played alongside LeBron. What was that like? I mean, there's so many people who say they learn something from LeBron. Like, even if they're playing with him for one season, they go on and they take something from that. What did you learn from LeBron?
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm super close to LeBron or anything, because I'm not. I appreciate him saying those words, but I was around him briefly, maybe for a couple months.
Okay.
So I'm not going to act like I'm, his biggest teammate, but he's a special guy. I remember two probably memories was just how early he was at the gym. And also there was one moment in film where it was like maybe an hour and a half into film, and I'm like, a rookie, I'm like, man, like this is carrying on pretty long, right? And then LeBron's still over there like, well, yeah, if you cross this and he crosses here, like I'm like, wow, like he's so invested in this game. And that was like, man, like I got to invest more off the court, like film and all this. So I was like, man, that's a super inspiration. Seeing that was a big like wake up, like, hey, this is more than just on the court. This is, you know what I mean? So the off the court was big, seeing that, and it made me invest a lot more. And after that, I started getting film after every practice watching. So he's a big inspiration to all of us.
And Mac, love your attitude. I know Adrian brought it up, all about tenacity. You'll get more opportunities. A lot of these guys break through in the league from the G League, like Jordan Poole, like you mentioned, Gary Payton as well. I wanted to ask you about your college journey because you were very famous in high school. We all followed you. I'm a former hooper as well. I was going to go play in college, played baseball instead. But I was following your journey too, and obviously the highlight dunks. You go to Georgetown, you transfer to Texas Tech, successful season. You go to the NBA. Talk to me about why you switched from Georgetown to Texas Tech and how that prepared you for the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, so coming out of high school, I was ranked like 315. I had like one offer, really, one high major offer, and it was two, Rutgers and Georgetown. So Patrick Ewing showed up at my house, and I was like, man, this is awesome. Coach Ewing, blah, blah, blah. So going to go to Georgetown, went there, felt like we had a pretty good 2 years. Winning was we weren't winning a ton. That was hard. I didn't feel like our culture at the time was where we needed to be to win. And I was like, well, I'm going to try to go somewhere where, I can try to win a championship. And Chris Beard was that guy for me. And he was direct and upfront about everything from the jump. We were ranked like number 7 at times. We had a pretty good year. I wish we would have went farther in the tournament. But, just being able to adjust, I probably, transferring stuff, just being able to adjust and being like, hey, I can show that I can fit in this situation or this situation. So that's really what the NBA is about, adapting to opportunity, stuff like that. Transfer probably helped in that situation.
Mac, I take my questions and then like everything I do very seriously. I consider myself a very serious journalist. What I mean by that is I just look through Wikipedia's, which led me to look through yours. And I just need to verify something because I also work in the music space. Is the rumor that Riff Raff is your cousin the most ridiculous rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
It's a very confusing one. Yeah. Riff Raff is not my cousin. I think when I was in high school, he said that, and it got me more publicity. So, I mean, I don't think it was malicious in any way.
You
but
appreciated the DMs.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just I think he wanted to see me get more popular. So I'm not related to him. I don't have much contact at all with him. So, I mean, it's just it's a funny thing, or it catches me off guard when people say that. But I don't look too deep into it. It doesn't really bother me either way.
Mac, you are a complete player, and Brandon's followed your career since high school, and he's often told me that being a slam dunk champion and being as skilled as you are in that, and you bring people so much joy. Again, you brought the slam dunk contest back to life. Do you think at all that takes away from people seeing you as a complete player?
I don't look too much into like how I'm looked at from people. I feel like if you're a basketball fan, if you're a real basketball fan, you're gonna look into details. And I think if you look in the details of me, you see this. But I feel like if you're, a person that just watches social media, okay. And then I'm not trying to prove anything to the people that are just watching social media. So it's like I'm not really worried about proving other people right. You know what I mean? Besides myself. So yeah, I don't look too much into it really.
Hey, Mac, one thing I want to ask you is Summer League wraps up and my Cleveland Cavaliers dominated and won the Summer League. Shout out to them once again. Some of your Summer League memories, and also obviously that's time being spent in Vegas. I'm here in Vegas. The city's very hungry. Do you think Las Vegas is a city ready for an NBA team and not just the Summer League and the in-season tournament and things like that?
Most definitely. I think it's an electric place. I think it's a place, talking to some locals when I was out there, man, they all want a team out there. You see Summer League, it's a great environment. So it only makes sense that you just carry that onto a team. So, Yeah, most definitely. I would think that'd be a great addition to the NBA.
And Arash mentioned this, but Mac, you are a complete player. I've watched a lot of your tape. The quickness, obviously, I think something that goes unnoticed is your playmaking. You get to the rack, and you can dish it out to your teammates. There's a lot of cutters you find. You have an innate feel for the game, which I think is lost for a lot of guys in the NBA that kind of play ISO ball and want to get their shots up. How do you train? We know how hard you train for the dunks and everything, but what is your training routine? Go on all your moves, your variety of moves, getting to the rack, dishing it out, one dribble pump fake, all that stuff, one dribble pull up, the step back three. You shot better from three last season as well. So talk me into that process of training there.
So the biggest thing I've kind of changed in my training is almost everything I do is live. I have two trainers, Danny Cooper and Nate Doherty, and they're young guys, so we can do live actions. And they put me in real situations and have the long arms with the cones so they can block my shot. Just putting myself in these situations that I'm going to be in the game, whether I need to make this pass right here across the corner because this guy helped. So I apologize for my cough, but yeah, just putting myself in these game-like situations, and a lot of the game is mental. Step backs, all that. I steal a lot of stuff from everybody, even my teammates. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do as I have new teams is just like seeing guys' stuff and be like, well, I can add that to my game. Let me steal this from him. So all that's probably just stealing all the moves and stuff, but also just the creativity and active live play I have during workouts.
Once again, Mac McClung, you are inviting fans to enter into the Starry Dunks and Drops sweepstakes with a chance to experience this. And by the way, let me give you some stats on this Wildcats Revenge. 140 feet in the air, 62 miles per hour, world's largest underflip. Mac, are you a thrill seeker? I as much as I like am a fan of yours, this is one contest that I can't be a part of because I can't do rides like this. Do you like these crazy, scary rides?
It's like watching a scary movie. You want to do it, but you kind of like have your hands in front of your face. It's a love, hate, but more love than hate. So I'm super excited and nervous. Like I said, the nervousness and excited are probably level. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
When you talk about like amusement parks or like fairs and everything, I need to know alongside your story, like what are you going for? Are you going for the corn dog? Are you going for some cotton candy? Do you do a hot dog? Do you just do the French fries? Some chicken tendies? Like, what's the play? What's the move?
Man, I wish I could eat a hot dog. I've kind of slimmed my diet. I'll keep the Starry lemon lime, but that's probably all I can do.
No glizzies?
Not for me. Not for me. I can't. I wish I could. If I had to do a cheat food, it would definitely be the chicken tenders, though, for sure.
This is super important. We need to bring you into our world. There was a time in your life where you were eating glizzies, correct?
Yeah, there's a local in my hometown. I used to eat a lot of hot dogs with chili. It was I love the chili.
Okay, chili. Okay, but if there's no chili, do you put just ketchup? Do you do ketchup, mustard? Talk me through the condiments. Take your time, by the way. We got all day for this.
Yeah. Just ketchup. I can't do the mustard. I'm not a mustard guy.
Oh, there we go. Respect.
That's my guy. That's
man, mustard is underrated, man. I like mustard. Everyone's been hating on the mustard over the past week.
Mac, last question for you. This is like we're all talking about. We want to see you in the league. Talk about this upcoming season for you. There's a lot of talented guys, as Brandon said, with these two-way contracts. What is your goal this upcoming season?
My first goal is always just to get better. I feel like each year I've gotten better, and that's the main goal. But I definitely believe I belong in the NBA, and hopefully my situation, my opportunity will come about this year, and I get to prove that, and hopefully win it. Like, my goal is always to win a championship, so wherever I'm at. So I love to win, and winning an NBA championship is the highest on my list for all-time goals. So hopefully that's something I can do at some point in my career.
Yeah, I mean, we have been following your journey, and I think that's the amazing thing, by the way, Mac, the connection that you have with your fans. They've been following your journey since high school, and there's this connection that they have with you, and we're right there with you. We're so thrilled that you came on the show. We'll be following July 29th. We're going to post the link on how fans can get a part of this contest. We're going to post the pictures and videos of you on this crazy ride. I can't wait for it. Mac, thanks so much for joining us. You're the best. We'll be cheering you, and thank you so much.
Man, really appreciate you guys having me and your kind words. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mac.
Thanks so much, everyone. That's all the time we have for today. Let's do it again tomorrow. Until then, this is Arash Markazi and Adrian Hernandez and Brandon Deutsch saying so long, and until tomorrow, stay safe and stay healthy.